All right, now we're going to go over checkpoint 2 or cool down 2 in the linear relationships unit. It's called different salt mixtures. So for this checkpoint, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be comparing two different recipes for salt mixtures. We're going to have to create their equations, and then we're going to have to compare them. So remember, to create the equation for a proportional relationship, we need the equation K equals y over x to find our constant of proportionality, or our unit rate, or rate of change. And then we need the equation y equals kx to write the final equation. So it says information about the salt mixture A is shown in the table. Salt mixture B is defined by the equation y equals 2.5x, where x is the number of teaspoons of salt and y is the number of cups of water. So we have our equation for B, but we don't have our equation for A. So let's find out our equation for A. So once again, x is the number of teaspoons and y is the number of water cups. So to find our equation, we have to do y divided by x to find our k. So I'm going to do 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4 is equal to 1.25. So that means my equation for mixture A is y equals 1.25x. So these are our two equations. Now question 1 says, if you use 10 cups of water, which would use more salt, how much more? Remember that water is y. So we're going to have to plug in 10 for both of the y's to find out how much salt is used. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to plug in 10 equals 1.25x. Or if you didn't want to simplify it and you wanted to leave it as 5 over 4, you could have put in 10 equals 5 over 4x. Either way, it'll be the same thing. I'm going to do the fraction-based form of it. So center of my equation is the equal sign. In order to get rid of 5 over 4, I'm going to have to divide by 5, because dividing by 5 is the opposite of multiplying by 5, and multiply by 4, which is the opposite of dividing by 4. That is what we call multiplying by the reciprocal. Anything I do on one side, I do to the other. So now I have 4 over 5 times 10. In order to do the 10, I need to put it over 1. Now I'm going to cross reduce. 5 can go into 10 2 times. That gives me 4 times 2, which is 8. So for mixture A, we're going to use 8 teaspoons of salt. Let's find out how many teaspoons we're going to use for mixture B. So then, again, we need to plug it in. We're going to do 10 equals 2.5 times x. Center of my equation is my equal sign. To get rid of 2.5, I'm going to divide it on both sides. So I'm going to divide by 2.5 on both sides. So now I'm going to do 10 divided by 2.5. So I'm going to move my decimal place one place to the right. That's going to give me 25. 25 cannot go into 10, but it's going to go into 104 times. So I'm going to have 4 teaspoons of salt. Okay, so which one is going to use more salt? This is mixture B and this is mixture A. Which one's going to use more salt? Mixture A. And mixture A is going to use 4 teaspoons more, because 8 minus 4 is 4. Now, which one is going to taste saltier? So remember that this constant of proportionality, the 2.5 and the 1.25, is the unit rate. And it tells me how much water compared to how much salt. So this tells me for every 1 teaspoon of salt, I have 1.25 cups of water. This tells me for every teaspoon of salt, I have 2.5 cups of water. So because this one is smaller, that means I'm having less water per salt. So that means mixture A is going to taste saltier because there's less water per salt. All right, once you have this submitted, make sure you hit submit for feedback, and I'll see you in our next video. Have a good day, guys.